Yes.
More in the way.
No.
That'd be fine.
No. Right, okay, so I'm Adam Butcher. I'm the project manager for our engineering class, creating robotic buggies. At the beginning, we were given a set of objectives that we had to make, that we had to complete. So first, obviously, we had to create a robotic buggy. So we decided that this would consist of front beams, trunnions, and the chassis. We also decided that we had to set up, we also were told that we had to set up and manage a production line. So that would involve passing parts along, correct, making sure they're correct, making them to specifications. So yeah, it's like material management, health and safety, and time management. So we decided that in order to obtain this criteria, we should create a Gantt chart so that we could display everything that we have to do over a specific time period. We also decided we'd need a quality control department, to check the quality of work, ensure that quality is maintained, and we do produce a good components. Health and safety department, to ensure that we made sure that everybody was using machines properly and was not going to get injured using them. A materials department that would check for materials, check we had the right materials, make sure we were using the correct materials. And a drawings and processes department who would create the drawings, create the designs, and make sure that we could easily create our components and know how we had to create them. So the Gantt chart. Obviously this is to help with time management, so it allows us to see our deadlines, allows us to see what we need to do, when we need to be doing it, so that we are able to complete our buggy within our deadlines, which is ultimately one of our objectives. We have to have it done by Easter. It helps us apply a time scale to the processes we're doing. It allows us to see how we are progressing along with the production of the buggy, and it allows us to see what else we need to do. So in this way, because every component is on the Gantt chart, we will not forget a component, because we'll be able to look down the Gantt chart and ensure that everything is correctly made and done. Quality control team. Their responsibilities, first off, to mark out blanks so that the engineers who are working on the components know what's going on, what processes they need to complete. They also need to check the processed work. So this means that our work is going to be within tolerance. It's still going to work with the rest of the buggy, and it's not going to make either the buggy look bad or be unable to perform. So yeah, this way we split up the processes so that each man within the department has a different process to check. So each person can specialise and will be better equipped to check processes. They also took on the role of recording the mistakes made, so that if we know there are multiple mistakes being made, we can address that and try and stop mistakes, so we can preserve material and ultimately make a better buggy. So obviously this is maintaining standards. They need to be able to continuously produce the same high level of work, which is going to make the best buggy. So by quality control continuously checking, pointing out making slight tips about what we could do to improve, it will allow us to make a better buggy. The health and safety department are in charge of risk assessments. So that would involve going around all the machines, checking what they need to be used safely, working out what safety equipment needs to be used, and also providing a safety brief for each one, so that people they won't injure themselves or make a mistake on the work while they're working there. So that is just to ensure the safety of everybody who's working. The material departments are in charge of deciding what materials we're going to use for our buggy, because obviously we can't use something like, I don't know, some steel on something which needs to be light, because we need the correct materials to have the best functioning buggy. So they found the materials that we needed and then cut out the blanks after they'd been marked out by the quality control team. They've also been checking to maintain the stock, making sure we don't get low on any of the materials that we need, so that we continue the production line and don't have to break because we haven't got the correct stock. They're also in charge of modifying designs if we do have a lack of a specific component, such as when we had for the steel front beam, aluminium front beam, sorry, we had something which was 10 mil over our actual design. So the materials department modified the design to allow use of the material we currently had. The drawings and process control department are in charge of making the planning documents. These are very important to us because without them we would not be doing the processes correctly. Parts would be done wrong, being processed at wrong times. We wouldn't be able to function properly. They're also in charge of the drawings. Obviously these are one of the most important things we have, because without the drawings we have no idea what it looks like, any of the dimensions, stuff like that. So without them we can't really produce the correct components. They're also in charge of making the templates. So these are helpful for the quality control department to just check that everything's been marked out correctly, because they are just a replica of one section of a component, and this allows them to see that it has been done correctly, all the holes in the right place and so on. So since we've decided all this, we've got into an actual production line, and we assigned machines to different people. So we have a set of people working on lathes, a set of people working on milling machines, and we laid the components out in areas for each different process so that they could be moved between machines, and the person working on the machine knows exactly what needs to happen. So after each process we move on to quality control. Obviously this is once again just to ensure that each piece is correct, there's no massive mistakes in it, and then if there are any problems they'll be referred to quality control. Quality control can't see a way we can work around it. Will be moved on to the process control, and between the departments we can work out a way to work either around the material, or if there's no way we can do that, we can we have to scrap the material. And also if we find ourselves short of people to do specific processes, say someone's not trained to work on a milling machine, we'll be able to train each other so that we can have more people on each machine, we can have a faster work rate, make production quicker. Any questions? Yes, sir.
So where are we with regard to progress to the end goal?
Progress to the end goal. Well, we are most of the way through manufacturing the components. The main components are well into production. I know for a fact today all of the front beams have now been lathed to size, which means we're pretty much halfway through producing every single component, which is right on target with our goal at the moment.
Brilliant. Very well done, Adam. Very well done, everybody.